Good morning, students. Today we will start the rest of the chapter, that is the Silk Road, and the passage starting from I lay back down and tried again. In same result, I was not point of disappearing into the land of Nod when something told me not to. It must have those emergency electrical impulses again. Okay, the passage starting from I lay back down and tried again to. So I stayed awake all night. So I stayed awake all night. So I stayed awake all night. So in this passage, what he said, he tried again by laying back on the bed. The same thing happened. He was in the land of signals where something told him not to do it. He was not be able to go to sleep with this time. When he was sitting up, it made him feel better as he could breathe properly and chest felt light. The opposite happened as soon as he laid down. He held himself up against the wall, but he was not able to relax. He was afraid to sleep now. A voice inside him told him that he might die if he would try to sleep, so he stayed awake all night. If he would try to sleep, he stayed awake all night. Okay, and the next passage starting from Satan took to me Darchin Medical College the following morning. So first the passage which we did right now, I think I forgot to tell you about the word meanings. There are two meanings, that is known as gasping. Gasping means breathlessness, and the next one is propping. Propping means to hold up. Okay, so now the next passage starting from the Satan took me to the Darchin Medical College the following morning, and the medical college at Darchin was new and looked like a monastery from the outside, with every solid door that led into large courtyard. Okay, so here the passage starting from the Satan took me to the Darchin and ending, oh yes, he said you will be fine. Oh yes, he said you will be fine. Starting from the Satan took me to the Darchin to, he said you will be fine. So first, again, look at the word meaning. The first word meaning is paraphernalia. Paraphernalia, it means miscellaneous article, as well as paraphernalia means a large number of different objects that you need for a particular purpose. A large number of different objects that you need for a particular purpose. Okay, let's suppose in a sentence what we use, like I pick X and even some gardens paraphernalia. Okay, so different large number of different objects that you need for a particular purpose. So this means paraphernalia. So don't get confused about this. Anyways, so let's start. Satan took him to the Darchin. Darchin is what? Darchin is a place name. Okay, so Satan took him to the Darchin Medical College the next morning. It was new and looked like a monastery with a door which lead a large courtyard. And they went to a dark and cold consulting room filled by a Tibetan doctor who wore nothing kind, if random articles which he expected. He was wearing a thick pullovers and a woolly hat and a woolen hat. He asked him a few questions while feeling his veins. When he checked his vein, he asked some questions. He told the driver that it is cold, that he had an effect due to cold and altitude change, that he could high change because they are just much more height above sea level. So that's why this is known as altitude change. He gave him some medicine and reassured him that he will be able to do the Kora. Okay, so now the next passage starting from I walked out of the medical college clutching a brown envelope stuffed. Clutching a brown envelope stuffed. To the summit, with a just wisp of cloud suspended over its summit. With a just wisp of cloud suspended over its summit. Okay? So the passage starting from I walked out of the medical college. Okay, so first look at the word meaning. The first word is pellets. Pellets means shots. Basically, pellets is a very small type of tablets. Very small type of tablet. I think you have taken some what we call the homeopathic medicine is a small type of medicine and round shape known as pellets. Pellets is also sometimes it's just like pellets means shots. Derelict means ruined or no longer used. Rubble, R-U-B-B-L-E, rubble means garbage. Heaps means loads, L-O-A-D-S, loads. And wisp means a small amount of something. A small amount of something. Okay, let's start. The Tibetan doctor gave him a 5-day course. He came out with a brown envelope which had 15 screws of paper. After having breakfast, he opened the after breakfast package, which had a brown powder and which he had to take with a hot water. It tasted like a cinnamon. Okay, I think you know about cinnamon. What do you mean by cinnamon? Okay, so just text me what do you mean by cinnamon. It tasted like cinnamon, and the lunchtime and the bedtime packages were nearly the same. They looked like sheep dung. They're talking about the pellets, the medicine which gave the doctor, they just looked like a sheep dung. Both had small spherical brown packages. After taking the full day medicine, he slept peacefully that night. Saturn left him in Dachin. When he came to know that he is going to be fine, he told him as a Buddhist that if he had passed away, it would not matter, it would be bad for business. Next day, Dachin wasn't looking so bad. It was dusty, partially ruined, and had loads of rubble. Rubble, I think I've told you about. Rubble means garbage. Rubble and refuse everywhere. The brightly shining sun in the blue sky gave him the vision of Himalayas, Gurla Mandhata. He was able to see a little bit with the cloud suspended over it. The cloud suspended over it. Here I'm talking about the summit. Summit means the top of the mountain. So guys, the rest of the chapter we will do later. Tomorrow I will send you the video. Please check it out. Thank you. That's all for today.